Hello, one and all. I am Jika. I am joined here by Cub, and we will be bringing you Built by Us Academy versus and I'm already forgetting names. This is a terrible start.
Abstract chaos.
Abstract Chaos. Thank you very much. How are you doing, Cub?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Looking forward to this game. Two teams at the top of their group looking to contest the first place. Should be fun.
Absolutely. So as you just mentioned, this game will decide who takes first within the group. So big game for both of these teams already. So we will see how the games look to go as soon as we get into Champ Select, which should hopefully be very soon. But in the meantime, tell me, do you know much about either the history between these teams or the teams as a whole? Never mind, we're in Champ Select. Ignore it. Forget I said anything.
So it
Timing is
looks
impeccable.
like BBU Academy's on blue side, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, they are. So they've got first pick. I believe there's contested first pick champions right now, such as Tamkench, maybe Mundo, Viego, maybe
And so
Zinzao. Yeah, these are like exactly both is on this on the money there is in. Like those are champions that are pretty contested and like I know BR God is kind of known for his Tamkench Mundo. He plays it a lot in solo queue, and if you know in match reports it shows that he's been playing it in his games. I also saw that BR God posted a Dr. Mundo meme onto the Abstract Chaos Discord channel, so they are a little bit of memeing going on there. Like that was on the trash talk section of the server. So some banter getting thrown in, maybe like teasing the pick, but first pick, there's a lot of champions open. All the champions we mentioned are open.
absolutely. Ziggs will go across. Of course, a very strong flex pick at the moment can go into either the mid lane or the AD carry position. Some very interesting bans coming out for first rotation. The Victor and the Oriana, kind of things you see come through towards second rotation. And then the Anivia is the most surprising for me on the side of BBUA.
Mhm.
So it'll be interesting to see how the draft unfolds from here as we look for the first pick from Abstract Chaos. It will be the Sivir, which can match very well into the Ziggs, but you may have just held your cards a bit too far from your chest if you are Abstract Chaos.
Yeah, interesting choice of champion. Like Severe isn't really a champion that we've saw picked to counter Ziggs in at least pro play, but I can see why they choose it, of course. With the spell shields, you can also push waves, things like that. So the Olaf blind pick is very interesting. Of course, I love Olaf. He's like my main champion by far. I've got a lot of mastery points on him, so I'm going to look forward to seeing if he makes some highlight plays. And of course, if he messes up, I'll be on him. No, I'm just joking.
Interesting to take the Jarvan into this matchup. Of course, the Unstoppable getting rid of a lot of that initial engage with the Cataclysm could be deadly for Abstract Chaos if you get a couple members caught up, especially when paired with this Solar Flare coming out from the Leona. And Ziggs Leona, a very good tool. From what I
Yeah.
can gather, so far you're looking at a wombo combo Cataclysm into the Mega Inferno Bomb into the Solar Flare from BBUA.
Yeah. Well, the Jarvan into Olaf, like, the Jarvan doesn't exactly want to 1v1 him over a Scuttle Crab, but I mean, no one really wants to 1v1 Olaf, really. Jarvan has got the abilities to get away, and if it is like a level 6, maybe 2v2 fight, he can ultimate the Olaf and then EQ away, try and like trap him whilst he's got his ultimate activated. So, not saying it's a counter, but Jarvan is a champion who can use his abilities to kind of work around Olaf's strengths.
Absolutely. And seems like Abstract Chaos looking for this Ziggs to go into the bot lane, taking away the champions like the Twisted Fate in this second rotation. The time Kench has also been taken away by the side of Built by Us Academy, which suggests we're looking at maybe more a tank matchup in the top side as the Mundo is taken away, getting scared from the meme that was indeed posted in that Discord earlier on today.
Yeah. Both Tamkinch and Mundo taken away. Not sure what the two-trick BR God will pick in here. I know that he's been spamming a lot of Kled in solo queue, but you know, Kled a bit of a niche pick, I guess, you know. Bit of a all or nothing pick. We'll
Yeah,
see what the pick here.
we did see it last week in one of the series. I'm trying to remember who it was, and it's just gone. But we did see it. It did do quite well. but
Yeah.
it ultimately is going to be a big depending factor. I don't think you can really blind pick it. As we look, this Alistair will come through. The Tarek would have been good. So Cosmic Radiance saving pretty much everybody from the initial burst damage coming out of the side of Built by Us Academy. And the Gangplank Cannon Barrage added to that, it's going to make this Cataclysm a deadly, deadly place for anybody to be trapped inside.
Yeah, it's a very defensive bot lane. Must be Diana mid with Ziggs going in bot. And top is about to be blind picked.
Or the Jarvans being sent top lane.
Maybe.
That would be interesting.
I know Emoke has played Jarvan in their VL games. Is it declared? Maybe the hero speaking. Maybe they've got the stream on.
Absolutely. Then,
So
yeah,
that
okay.
Nara's a bit of a safe blind pick, you know. So I guess understand why.
Very safe blind pick, and you can absolutely see what the plan is here. Diana goes in, Moonfall comes down, everybody gets pulled together, Cataclysm comes in, traps everybody in, Solar Flare, Mega Inferno Bomb, and the Gnar to just force. It's a massive ultimate reliant wombo combo that could definitely be a pain train if one of the carries from Abstract Chaos gets caught. Will be answered by the Ornn. Isn't a terrible matchup for the Gnar, but it can definitely survive versus it.
Yeah, both of them are pretty good, you know, like kind of a standard team comps where you have a front lane, you have the engage, so you can see who's got what job to play. Ornn and Ahri kind of work well with each other, looking to land the charm off of the ultimate. Um, I think they've kind of got a good late game comp, but Olaf is more like early game plays, securing objectives, so not sure who'll have the prio like in bot lane, whether Olaf will actually be able to take the dragons, which is what he's wanting to do as a champion. So it'll be interesting to see how mid and bot plays out in terms of dragon control and yeah, interesting.
Absolutely. We are looking at a rather distinct lack of AD coming out from BBUA. So this Ornn and the Olaf and the Alistair could be looking to be very scary. I don't think Jarvan and Gnar between them have a lot of damage in their kits, especially if Jarvan's going for a more tank-oriented build. But these carries need to be careful. If they get caught in the wrong place once, we are looking at Ziggs and Diana just blowing them up.
Yeah. There's a definitely a lot of like wombo combo engage, and with Diana Jarvan and Leona all can go in and then the follow up damage from Ziggs and depending on where Nara is with his rage bar.
Absolutely. Now, I'm not entirely sure if Abstract Chaos just didn't order, but the Alistair is looking is looking at the AD carry position. I'm looking over at the roster sheets we were given before the game started today, and Bullet is listed as the AD carry. So this will be interesting to see.
Oh. Yeah, he is listed as ADC. It's a strange one. We'll see.
Maybe he doesn't play Sivir. Maybe they just maybe they decided to roll swap for a game because he doesn't play Sivir. It will be very interesting to see how this does indeed play out. I think win conditions, if you are Abstract Chaos, you are looking for Ari and Sivir to get pressure like they should be able to do it in the respective matchups. It is a counter matchup into the Ziggs, and the Ari has the range advantage over the Diana. So Olaf should have this pressure for these more early game fights, try to skirmish over the Scuttle Crab against the Jarvan, who realistically he will be able to outdamage and go for the likes of the Drakes and the Heralds. However, if we see any kind of pressure come out from Jarvan and the Olaf is not in a position to respond, things could go south very quickly.
Yeah, I had just had a quick skim at the OPGG. It must just be the way they submitted the lineup submission. Maybe slightly in the wrong order, but I don't think that is actual an issue with like the rules. But on OPGG, Benny does play ADC, whereas Bullet plays support. So I think it's just
Okay.
maybe yeah, so nothing to really overlook
Okay.
there. I'm not too
No.
sure how the lane plays out in mid with Ahri, and like Ahri for me is known as someone who can easily push the wave and help the jungler out in River. Diana, of course, has some strong all-in quite early on, but it will be interesting to see. if Ari's looking to roam with Olaf and make some aggressive plays and get ahead early, or if they're happy to take the sit back and scale approach because they've got the Ornn, they've got a Severe known as like a team fight champion. Both of them have quite like safe late game comps. I don't think any of them won't be happy to take it late, or none of them are pressured to make early plays, I don't think, because of the comps.
Absolutely. The Ari will have a lot of push into the Diana as far as I can tell with that matchup because it's the ranged into melee. Diana can get a bit of poke down, but of course with Ari's Orb of Destruction going through the wave, Diana has to position very passively if she wants to avoid getting poked out very, very early on. Of course, the Pale Cascade can save you from that in some regards, but it won't be a massive saving grace, so to speak.
I'm loving the fact that Olaf is a Sentinel skin. I haven't actually seen that in play yet. As an Olaf, I mean, I've been tempted to get it, man, but like, I've got the SKT Olaf actually. It was on sale and I was able to purchase it. And I also have the Dragon Slayer, so there's no point in me splashing out more money. But
Yeah.
be nice to see that in the game.
This may sway your opinion. I have seen it a couple of times. It is quite a nice skin, to be fair. I think the entirety of the Sentinel lineup is very nice. Myself,
Yeah,
I have personally both have Vayne and Aurelia, so
yeah.
very, very interesting.
Okay,
So
so 100% should start in any moment, and then we'll do the countdown at 10.
indeed. Sivir running the cleanse into this lane, very smart, very safe. That shield will only save you from one piece of CC, and Leona has 3 to throw your way. Other than that, nothing too insane showing.
Okay, paused at 10. Okay, just do 3 seconds in. 3, 2, 1, play.
And we are in. Perfect. Can we have the scoreboard showing if you don't mind, as well as objective timers? Do you know the extra zoom out trick?
I do not.
Control Shift Z and then just scroll out.
Control Shift Z.
30 seconds until minions
And
spawn.
scroll out. As we look, there could be an early play going in. Abstract Chaos is looking for. There you go. Looking for a bit of an invade, just trying to get a bit of vision down, I think. Jan will spot them out. However, as Built by Us Academy, looking for an invade onto the top side, maybe just to get vision, maybe to go for something, but people are
Minions have
rotating
spawned.
up.
Yeah, they're doing they're doing the right thing. When they see the invade bot side, the people covering the top side of the map should walk in and get a ward just to check. Yeah, it's safe to get a ward there, then they can track the jungler a bit easier there. Let me zoom back in a little bit. We'll get onto the plays. Let's get Jarvan starting top side as well as Olaf, so maybe a contest on the bottom side scuttle. We'll see that later.
I feel we may see a contest indeed. My eyes are on this mid lane and whether the Diana can get any kind of early filter right onto the Ari, whether that be with a gank or without it. Against Jarvan knockout will at least secure a flash, if not a kill, if the reactions are not quite as fast as you would hope. I think we will just see a farm fiesta for most of these lanes.
Yeah. Olaf's taking his raptors, which they saw. There was also a ping on the Olaf as he was walking over, so they know he's just entered the jungle. It's going to be interesting to see the decision making with them knowing that Olaf is there right now. And what he's taking his 3 top camps, moving towards most likely the red, not the raptors. But does he commit to try and get bottom scuttle? It's going to look difficult with both lanes looking pushed in, mid and bot.
feel it's an option, but he has to go about it very carefully. Maybe just trying to
Yeah, I
secure it
think
with
top scuttle is just going to. Yeah, I think the top scuttle is going to just be like safe, and bottom is a bit risky. So we'll see what happens. But trading on top side.
Searing charge may
One
just
more, maybe?
save Karma. Double flashes just to safety, very, very low.
Double flash in the second tower proc would have killed BR God if it happened. Of course it didn't, but it was close on both sides. You could argue that both people nearly died. If Ornn didn't flash, he was dead. BR flashing in aggressively for it, so both their flash timers will come up at the same time as well. Ornn's just used his TP to get back to lane. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Nar can get a free. He can walk back to lane, saving his TP.
Indeed, he can. This wave is in a very good position for him to just walk back into lane. Meanwhile, Chicken is helping JPF push in this mid wave so they can look to roam, maybe look to get vision, maybe look for a Scuttle Crab, but it will also deny minions away from Stingy to the tower.
And yeah, no early shenanigans on the Scuttle Crab side of things, and Moke went up to top Scuttle and secured it whilst Olaf wasn't there. Both of them are on the exact same amount of camps cleared, and with them both just taking the Krugs, or correct, Jarvan was going to Krugs and they're looking for the gank bot side.
Just going to see a bit of a trade in the mid lane, nothing too major, and a gank bot was dissuaded. He may have been caught just on vision of the minions. We're seeing another scrap in top lane as well. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of low health bars throughout laning, but never any secured kills. I think without jungle attention, kill threat is pretty low for every lane. However, I have been proven wrong before, as we see Karma go in and take BR God very low. We're seeing the opposite side of this matchup now.
Yeah, BR God maybe didn't respect that little kind of a ground that comes up from Ornn's Q, because they got an E. Ornn managed to land the E into the W, which does a surprising amount of damage. People sometimes don't expect the damage that comes out of Ornn. He's kind of got to land that QE combo or E off the wall to make that happen. Ornn is not scared to kind of throw his own weight around here.
Absolutely, and of course the extra brittle damage dealing % health does do a good chunk for Ornn's damage as well. Known quite commonly as the tank assassin bruiser mage AD carry, because he can do literally everything.
Yeah.
As we see an early Drake attempt by Strike Chaos. It looks like it will be picked up. Early Smite to keep the health on the Olaf, but that is just a Cloud Drake being conceded to the side of Abstract Chaos, with an Infernal coming as the second Drake, which means we're looking at either Cloud or Mountain Souls. We are seeing it engage in the bot lane. Ari does get stunned up. Overrise does manage to slightly interrupt, forcing the flash tower shots going everywhere, but it looks like the 4-man dive on this bot lane goes nowhere.
Yeah, a lot of summoners used there as well. Heal was used, Leona's Ignite and Flash was used, TP's been used from Ahri to get back to lane. So a lot of summoner spells used, but no actual gold come out. First blood still to happen here in the game, almost 7 minutes in. Jarvan's on the opposite end of the map here from the zone jungle, taking Krugs, and the red buff is also about to spawn.
With this amount of pressure in the top lane, you have to think he's not scared to push for a little bit more.
Yeah, I'd say that's the right move to make there. It was a good bit of knowledge and confidence coming in there, because he knew Olaf was bot side there, and so he's moved into the opposite side of the jungle. But if he stays any longer, he might meet Olaf. But of course, Nars took his back. Olaf's been missing for a while, so he's doing the right thing moving away.
Absolutely. It's worth pointing out that Emoke is 2 camps down on Chicken, including that Drake. So a little consolation prize with taking away the Krugs. Of course, Jarvan's clear speed not quite as quick as Olaf's. As we can see, the level difference, maybe not by much, maybe only an extra camp, and Jarvan will tick over to 6. Until Jarvan hits that level 6 point, it will be very difficult, as we see Absha going in here. Moonlight. The Moonfall has been used. But again, I don't think it's anything. As the Zenith Blade does come in from Fresh Princess. It's not going to be much consolation though, as I believe they will lose their life as JPF picks up first blood for the side of Abstract Chaos.
Yeah, it was some more fighting perhaps. Olaf looking to invade with the Alistar having his back. But yeah, that mid lane fight there, Diana realised that Alistar was there and he was about to come in range to make the engage. He wasn't really going to be able to get to his own tower for safety, so he committed to getting on top of the Ahri, doing his burst damage. Managed to not die, but the both of them could have got away. They didn't realise that Olaf was close enough. So it was like a very close play where, you know, Diana couldn't quite get away, so he went into fight. Then the both of them could have got away, but Leona went in. Diana had used her ultimate by that point, didn't really have anything to follow up. If she went in to save Leona, they both died, so it's quite a close little scenario there, back and forth.
Absolutely. Just a
The
bit.
gold itself, though, it's interesting. The gold is only 200, or yeah, 200 of a difference, but with First Blood being on the side of Abstract Chaos, could just
CS
because of the
mid lane.
CS diff mid.
That's not what I expected to see in this lane, honestly. The 20 CS lead for the Diana, just under. I honestly thought Ahri would be a bit better off, but that may just be down to just slightly overestimating damage.
When Ahri made the dive bot lane, I think she's missing a fair bit there. Diana just stayed in lane, pushed away for a bit, got a tower plate.
Absolutely, look for the 4-man bot lane again. The charm does land onto the Fresh Princess, and they will just die. As Bullet jumps on into the Ziggs, and Benny will take that kill for himself. That is a quick 2-for-0 as we see a fighting top side. Karma is very, very low, uses the Call of the Forge God to keep himself alive, and if you're built by Us Academy, you're worried here. You've lost 3 kills on the map for absolutely nothing in return. And this Drake is coming up in a minute's time. We may be seeing some big buys coming through from the carries on the side of Abstract Chaos with the gold that is now in their pockets.
Yeah, I think they tried to get a counter kill on the top side. Diana going in here.
Diana goes in, the Moonfall does come through. The charm will manage to heal for a short while as Olaf is here. Chicken deciding to run Diana down. Will the Ragnarok get pop? Flash has been forced from Stingy as both BR God and Emote are here. BR God will jump in, not quite enough rage to go mega, so it will just away. Just a small...
Jarvan EQ'd forward and was just out of range to get the ultimate off. If he got the ult off, I think the Narc would have cleaned up, got the kill. But yeah, when the tower dive happened bot lane, Abstract Chaos did a good job in making it happen. It was a little bit easy for them to make it happen with Leona walking to the bush to ward. They tried to get a kill on top side on Burns' flash and ultimate, so he managed to stay alive. Diana did get some plates in mid lane, so I guess they did try and get what they could. With that being said, they've got the Herald, they've got a Ziggs, and they make full use of it.
Small consolation prize if you are built by Us Academy as they once again get collapsed on, this time by the entire side of Abstract Chaos. Emote will just dash out. The bot lane are in a spot of bother with the Spirit Rush straight onto Jan as he will go very low. He will die. That's a double kill for Chicken as the bot lane from Built by Us Academy fall, and they will just look to go for the dragon.
Yeah, it's going to be double dragon, so this is Inferno, so it's either going to be Mountain or Ocean Soul. Of course, they're very effective. Souls either could be really good. Diana's now picked up 3 tower plates, so have a quick look at the gold on individual champions. So Diana's 700 gold ahead of her counterpart Ahri.
200 gold lead topside for the R-God. A almost 1,000 gold lead for Chicken in the jungle. A 400 gold lead for the Stivir in the bot lane. So ultimately, the gold, even though it's looking pretty even, it's some big leads coming through for individual players. And we are looking at a Mountain Soul, which could look pretty scary. As I say that, the Call of the Forge God does come in, and the owner's been engaged on as well. I'm not sure what's happening anywhere on the map. Ahri may be in a spot of bother here. The Jarvan EQ comes in, the Cataclysm will secure the kill. Meanwhile, Karma is just trying to kill someone in this top side and just doesn't have the damage to do so.
Yeah, Ari was actually making quite a short range TP there from behind the red top side lane there. Leona was close by. I'm not sure exactly how or why she was in that spot, but Leona was in a good spot to actually cancel the Ari TP, and Jarvan close by was able to follow up. Both of them got a lot of CC together. So yeah, Ari was going topside to help Ornn, but then found herself in a little bit of pickle, 1v2.
A very well played from Built by Us Academy to catch out JPF in a position where he was most vulnerable, unable to really respond and pick themselves up a kill in what has been an otherwise pretty quiet game for them.
I love to see this, especially. I'll just keep my mouth shut for now. Jarvan went to take down the Ornn, but Ornn is very chunky. Yeah. I love to see it in pro play when it mainly happens when I watch the LPL, which I do quite often. One team's get more kills, but the other team just has more gold.
Yeah, it looks like we may see Rush Prince fall yet again. Chicken picking up another kill here. Ornn will steer in charge to safety. We may see this top tower fall. That would be 2 turrets for none on the side of Built by Us Academy, which you must be happy with.
Yeah. 2 towers to none. I mean, Abstract Chaos have found some kills, some good tower dives. They've got the dragons, but they haven't really managed to actually get towers. It's when Abstract Chaos are committing to getting these kills that Built by Us Academy are doing a good job at kind of chipping away to towers bit by bit. And of course, the Herald with the Ziggs just demolished the bottom lane tower.
Absolutely, and you can see that's 10 plates gone, and that gold is starting to come into effect. We are looking at an 1,000 gold lead for the side of Built by Us Academy, even though they are 2 Drakes and 5 kills down.
And with the next dragon coming up, they've pinged it 2 minutes. Are you able to enlighten me how to check the dragon timer?
It's on the bottom right there, above the map.
Ah, yes, it is indeed. I'm a spectator noob, so it's about 1 minute 50 with the dragon. It'll be interesting to see if Built by Us Academy, like, you know, step up to take that. I doubt they'll want them going soul point, but it's, you know, if they allowed them to take it and push like a tier 2 tower, they're going to get a lot of gold. So we'll see what the decision making is there.
Or even just taking this mid-tier one, it would open up the map and give them full control over all 4 quadrants of the jungle.
It's very interesting looking at It's interesting looking at the gold difference again in mid lane. Diana has 1,200 more.
Yeah.
Let's see. Commit to another 5.
Well, the Forge God does come in. Chicken is looking for Jan as he will try to run for his life, but Benny will pick up that kill. Meanwhile, a fight will come back in on the mid, even. BR God going mega. Sivir is in the wrong position here. Benny could very quickly die. Cleanse has been blown, but will fall to Emote. Meanwhile, Stingy on the other side of the fight has taken both JPF and Bullet.
Unstoppable.
That is a 3 for 2 in favor of Built by Us Academy. In a fight that they didn't start.
Yeah, they just reacted to what was happening. Good counterplay. They were looking to really dive and take the tower when maybe the safer play would have just to try and chip away more at the tower. All of the team was there, tried to use the resources. But I mean, Built by Us Academy do have a lot of CC of their own.
Absolutely, and it was a very split fight as well. As you saw, you had 3 and 2 for the side of Abstract Chaos, 2 in the jungle and 3 in the lane, so it was a very split up fight. You didn't really have the people you needed where you needed them, which could become a problem for this dragon fight if we see a fight come through. So there's some big ultimates on cooldown from both sides. We do have a pause. Looks like there are connection issues on the side of Built by Us Academy for now.
Yeah, not ideal. Right before Dragon, not ideal. You see the Gnar back when he disconnected. I quickly put my eyes on Gnar on the mini map, and he did walk backwards. So it looks as though he has slightly disconnected. It shows he's reconnected. That's us back into the game.
Here indeed. Bear in mind we are 3 minutes behind. This is just a little spectator pause. This happens at the end of every pause for some reason because spectator is broken. But yeah, we are 3 minutes behind the actual game, so that pause would have happened 3 minutes in the future.
Yeah.
As we look for this Drake fight to start, and it doesn't look like anybody from the side of Built by Us Academy is in a position to really look to want to fight it.
Thankfully, there's a ward as well on the side of the Blasco, and they can see what Built by Us are doing.
They do go in. Oh my god! Drake is secured by Stingy. However, Immo will lose his life in return as Benny picks that kill up for himself.
Yeah,
You have
Stingy
to
98 picking it up with the Diana Q, throwing that moonlight in there and taking it out. A little bit of moonlight, a little bit of sunlight shining on top of the dragon there. Leona used her ultimate, Diana used her Q.
Everything coming down on top of the mountain. Drake, the poor thing, did not get to survive. Plenty of waves though, so this mid tower should stay for a short while longer. We are going to see that the next herald is already up, and it looks like Abstract Chaos are already looking to take it, while Built by Us Academy have scattered their recalls.
Yeah, they're doing a lot as 5, like when they're dive, they dove bot lane as 4 or 5, they dove mid lane as 5, they're doing a lot as a team of 5, which is...
Rush into the ball of the Forge God. Ziggs may just die here.
Yeah.
2 ultimates for your Ziggs' life. That's not a bad thing if you can find something in return. If not, Jan has just lost his life for overstepping way too far for nothing.
Like, it's good they're doing things as one unit, but they didn't need all 5 people on that second herald. There was a wave, you know, top lane, no one's going bot, so they could have been a little bit maybe more resourceful with where they're sending people, because at that point they kind of know Built by Us aren't going to commit to trying to contest that second herald. They could have, you know, sent people elsewhere or all 5 on the herald, but it is nice to see that they're working as one unit when diving and taking objectives.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting to see how the rest of this game plays out, with Gold Lead still in the favour very slightly of Built by Us Academy, and they are just going to get stronger as the game goes on. However, this bot lane, 0 and 8 between them, even though they have a scaling, should we say, bot lane? You need to be very, very careful that you don't fall too far behind, as the Archon will jump over the wall onto JPF. The Narc doesn't come through. Going very low, the Mega Inferno Bomb will tag Jungle, pick up JPF for himself. Meanwhile, Narc, Jarvan, and Diana have shown up. The Cataclysm comes down. Stingy will take one, as the Alistar can do nothing but walk into his own demise. That is 3 quick kills for the side of BBUA. However, the Herald will take the turret on the bot side as a small consolation prize, but they will lose the mid turret in return. The Herald may even get 2! The Herald gets 2!
Yeah, don't know if it'll get the die. Yeah, we'll get the charge off, but not more than that. Oh, could have maybe got die before, but yeah, that was very well played by BR God. Will they get a tower for mid lane, tier 2 as well with the Ziggs? That was very well played by BR God. He has the little ward in the bush there. Knew Ahri was there. No one really too close to her to save the initial burst, and they just used everything of the Mega Gnar combo, landed everything on time in the correct order, and then a very well placed ultimate by Jan to finish the kill off, and then his teammates came up following upwards. So well played by BR God, you know, getting the right burst damage off in the correct order. Good confidence, good knowledge that he knew where Ahri was. Jumped over the wall, landed everything. Nice to see.
Absolutely. This Mega Gnar really showing up big in some of these fights for Built by Us Academy. While it is just going to be a slow game, the Baron is now up a minute 20 until the next Drake does spawn. So we just have to play the waiting game in large part to see if anything is to happen beforehand, or if we are just waiting for the Drake to spawn. And if we are, the vision that is set up around said Drake.
Yep, 1 minute until that dragon. We should see some action around then. It's interesting, like looking at the gold, like there's a big gold difference in terms of mid lane, but then Ziggs is just over 1,000 behind the Severe. Nara's ahead of the Ornn, of course. So like in terms of damage output, there's a lot of like they're depending on the Olaf and Severe a lot in these team fights. Jarvan might be caught out.
Dragon caught by the headbutt pulverize combo. It is not. Whenever a funnel bomb does come down, it's not enough to save him, as Benny will pick up that kill for himself, having used the ultimate, which I'm going to be honest, I am forgetting the name of for Sivir. You barely see this champion anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. But yeah, it looks like they're not going to have to depend on Severe or Olaf's damage because there will be no team fight here and won't get caught out just for the dragon. So with that being said, Built Bio's Academy are going to have to try and pick up some gold elsewhere on the map, whilst they know Abstract Chaos are on the dragon. Diana looking to maybe take out the Ornn, but can she do it 1v1?
Yeah, no, not allowed.
Right,
Not at all.
yeah, there's a wave sitting there crashed in the tower.
That will give us soul point for the side of Abstract Chaos. Honestly, in a commanding position this game. They've been behind in gold for the majority of it, but their team play and their objective focus has been impeccable.
Yeah. They're not really they're not like going out their way to get like deep vision solo, they're not like making mistakes solo, it's just the kills are more coming as a counter to their own plays. They make a dive and maybe it doesn't go quite right, or Ari try to TP top and get caught out. So isn't it they're, you know, they're not solo boloing it, try to get vision on their own, it's just kind of their own plays are getting countered. So it's just depending on how the team fights play out here.
Absolutely, as we can see, Chicken and JPF are moving as a group to make sure there isn't any one person on their own at any given time in a position where they can just be killed. We are yet to see the big wombo combo come out from the side of Built by Us Academy, but when we see it, I have a feeling it may spell very difficult times for Abstract Chaos. As we see Built by Us Academy looking to try and take the Baron here as three. Abstract Chaos are moving up. They do seem to have a hunch this is going on, as I think we are looking for a team fight to start very soon. They are sandwiched between a lot of members, and Ziggs is already dead! Crossbow does a lot of damage to Charm, does land on that. That's a two-man moon for the Portal Forge God does come through on the other side. Cataclysm has come down, but it's not enough. Two more kills go over to the side of Abstract Chaos. Meanwhile, Nara and Leona doing everything they can, but they just have to run. Leona will lose her life. Nara is gone, and Abstract Chaos look for the Baron.
Yeah, that's big. They tried to do a sneaky barn play, they had it pinked, they didn't take out the red normal wards, which would have of course showed that they were sitting in the barn pit, but you know, there's a few members of Built by Us Academy missing for a good little while. I think it was, you know, just snuffed out by Abstract Chaos. The thing that kind of made me scratch my head is they had a pink ward in the bush, in river. They must have saw Abstract Chaos move towards them. The barn wasn't really even like halfway there, maybe just a little less than halfway, but there's a lot more of the barn to go. When they seen them get closer, I think they should have backed away from the barn a lot sooner. Could have potentially been a good call to take it if they'd done it a lot faster, but you know, if they were on if they were taking the dragon, they'd say do it, but it was very courageous trying to make that play happen. They should have backed away a little earlier when they realised that they were snuffed out. That's big in terms of the game as a whole. Like if that didn't go, the game's kind of 50. It's even, you know. But up until that play, the game has massively swung in Abstract Chaos's favour. Got the barn, they're one away from Soul. Very risky and courageous play.
2,500 gold lead now for Abstract Chaos, and as you say, the Baron was about half health. They could have backed off, they chose not to, and they paid for it with their lives. Whether they thought their DPS was a bit more than it was, or they knew they had people on the way, I'm not sure, but alas, it was not quite enough. So now Built by Us Academy playing on the back foot of this game. The Forge God does come in the mid lane. Ziggs can keep himself safe with that satchel charge. It's a big cooldown wasted, but it will be up in time for this Drake fight in a minute 25. So I think Abstract Chaos just looking to take towers, try and starve Built by Us Academy of these resources, taking as many towers as they can. That is 5 fallen in favour of Abstract Chaos now. We may see a fight start here for this inhib, as the hope from Sivir is absolutely insane.
And Ziggs used his ultimate to try and clear the wave, but it actually only hit the front 3 minions. It didn't touch the 2 back cannons. So those 2 back were big.
Meanwhile, Nara's already dead, Leona's already dead, Ziggs will fall as well. That's a triple kill for the Abstract Chaos AD carries. They look for this inhib tower. Will we see more? I don't know. It's just Imoke and Stingy. I think Abstract Chaos go for the game here. I think being caught out in that position there, you got choke pointed.
They don't have much wave clear. Diana's got a Q there, but Jarvan can't really do much but all in.
The Moonfall goes wide, Cataclysm onto 4 members, but there is not enough damage. That is a double kill going across to Chicken. Death timers are too long as we see Abstract Chaos look to take the Nexus and take game 1 well out of Built By Us Academy's hands.
Yeah, Built By Us Academy thought that they must have just been going towards the dragon. They would be in about river by this point, go to clear the mid wave safely, but you know, they didn't have any wards in that jungle area and they just get collapsed on completely. Can't totally blame them for thinking that. The Abstract Chaos has pushed the mid wave as much as they could, moving towards the Soul Dragon. I think we'd all think they're kind of around the river area, but of course they were right there ready to sandwich on them. It was a close game up until the barn call, really. We've already spoke about that, It could have potentially worked, but Abstract Chaos weren't really too busy elsewhere on the map at that point, and we did see them moving towards them on that pink ward. They should have maybe backed away a bit sooner. It's interesting as well because both teams kind of fell behind when they made their own plays. Like when they dove the bot tower with like 5-man, Built By Us Academy found gold elsewhere. They got the Herald, they got some mid plates, and then Abstract Chaos tried to dive them mid lane, tier 1 tower. Built By Us Academy won that fight. Built By Us made the call to take the barn. They fell behind because of that play. So it's like the team's making plays, but the other team's just kind of countering those plays. Just have to see, I guess, the right decision making coming out.
Absolutely. So that will take Abstract Chaos to match point in this best of 3 series to secure, or at least get a lot closer to this first place in the bracket. I believe we will throw to a short break here quickly as teams do get ready. So we will be back bringing you guys game 2 very soon. Welcome back, everybody, to the second game of the evening between Abstract Chaos and Built by Us Academy. After having lost the first game in a relatively messy fashion, Built by Us Academy have opted to play red side this game. So how do we think this changes draft, Cub?
Yeah, I always like seeing how, games are changed based on draft. I don't think the game was won or lost based on draft. Of course, it's just a decision making. But now the first pick has swung over to the side of Abstract Chaos. So we'll be interested to see what happens there. Whether maybe the Ziggs is picked up on the side of Abstract Chaos if that's left open. And if so, it'll be interesting to see what the bot lane or perhaps mid lane, Built by His Academy as a whole wants to reply with. So let's see if Ziggs or maybe Tamkench is picked up first.
Absolutely. As we see, once again, these two very strong mid laners taken away from Stingy in this early and phase, as is the Jax and Nocturne. The Twisted Fate immediately. So, Abstract Chaos saying, we are extremely scared of Stingy. We are going to completely ban him out
Yeah.
and just take a power pick for ourselves.
Maybe they kind of want him back on the Diana. Maybe if we ban these three champs, we go on Diana, we can handle that. First
Yeah,
pick
so
on the Trundle. Did not expect that. I mean, at this point, especially in pro play, we see him maybe not flex the top lane as much nowadays, but he has picked a lot top lane in solo queue, so this could be arguably a flex pick for jungle, top, and support. Don't really see him in support and solo queue, but in pro play we have been seeing it quite a lot. So, interesting to see where he will go.
absolutely. Normally a counter pick, however, we will see the Ziggs taken away once again by Built by Us Academy. A lot of these power picks are still available. The Xin Zhao and the Viego being two, to name a couple. I think with this Ziggs pick, they could just pivot to a very similar style, going back to the Jarvan, going for this kind of death ball composition, which into a Trundle will be even harder second time round because of the pill.
Yeah, I was actually going to say just before the first pick was locked in, if they go with the Olaf blind pick in jungle, I would like to see Built by His Academy and Amok picking up the Trundle because it's the kind of a good pick into Olaf. He scales better and can kind of handle him a bit early game. He can use his pillar to avoid Olaf when Olaf goes all in. So Trundle is a good counter to Olaf. So I was actually thinking we might see Trundle in this game, but on the opposite side. Very similar drafts. Severe and Ari coming out, Ziggs and Jarvan coming out. 4 of 5 champs picked were in the first game on the same side as well.
Absolutely. We will see a slight adaptation in the Karma coming out for Built by Us Academy. And that, to me, can only say one thing. We're looking at a flex between 3 lanes here, and we're looking at a go forwards composition.
Yeah, Karma's definitely a flexible champion. I know Vipers, who's doing the draft about by his academy, he loves the champion Karma on his team. It can do a lot for you in top lane, like we would play it a lot in top for the main team of Built by Us. So you can see that Vipers is doing the draft there. He loves a good bit of Karma. But Karma with Ziggs, I can see that has been quite a aggressive bot lane in terms of poking and hard pushing the wave. If it is, of course, Karma support. We see that Alistar getting banned out. They don't want that paired with the Severe again.
The Gangplank also gone. This Cannon Barrage being very decisive. Very decisive ability, rather, for a lot of these objective-based fights because you are choke pointed into either the river or the pit itself.
I know Built by his Academy were hovering Gangplank previously. It was Jan hovering it. But I'm not actually sure if BR God plays the champ. So that would be pretty funny if that's like a wasted ban based on a hover. So mind games, maybe he does and I'm wrong. Maybe he's got some games on the champion. But I don't think it's one of his regular go-to picks anyway.
Absolutely. If this Karma's not going to support the Alistair and Leona bans, definitely say we are looking for Nautilus, we are looking for Thresh, we are looking for something you can't contest us with. However, they could just be forcing this into like a severe Lulu lane with
Tamkench is
the...
open. Tamkench's
This
open
is
right now.
true.
I think that's who is going to get locked in. I could be wrong, but if he's not locked in just now, he could be locked in on the other side. If he is, that means Trundle would be jungle.
I'm not talking about hovers, I'm not talking about hovers, I'm not talking about hovers.
Jan loves a good hover.
Okay, I had a joke going if it was that last pick, but it is not. We will see the Varus come out for Jan this game, which tells us the Ziggs is going into this mid lane, and Varus Karma, a very oppressive lane. Varus, also a pretty nice matchup into the Severe. You can poke her out from afar without really too much fear. The Ornn will be taken again for Karma. I'm not even going to try and say the whole name as much as I thought I could.
And with that meaning that Ziggs is going mid lane and not bot lane, Ziggs can maybe match that Ahri in terms of push. Ahri, as we said before, good champion is just sort of pushing the wave and maybe helping out elsewhere. Ziggs can also push the wave. So that'll be a back and forth tussling maybe there for the wave priority. Going with the tried and tested Nautilus, kind of one of the most basic but effective support champions you absolutely love having the Nautilus on your team, at least I know I do anyway.
Absolutely. I was biting my tongue for a second there, seeing the Thresh hover, taking that champion away from Thresh Prince as we see the Kale come in for BR God. We are looking at a very explosive game if this Kale gets to level 16.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm aware, Kayle is pretty good into Ornn. Of course, Ornn isn't really an aggressive champion, so there would be like a lot of picks most likely good into him, but maybe they're viewing this as just quite a safe lane for Kayle, looking to
It's
just get through it as they both are, make it a farming lane with Kayle having the slightly upper hand on the trading aspect.
And of course, it is just a free scale lane. There is rarely ever any kill pressure onto a Kale by an Ornn, unless the Kale grossly missteps. Of course, Trundle can show his face. We could see some all-ins towards this topside Kale. Very squishy before she has that level 6 point. Also, melee. So, definitely scary, but I'm sure she will be shoved into and can just freeze the wave outside her tower and just catch minions that way.
Yeah. I wonder if Trundle ever was a flex pick, or if Abstract Chaos, knew from the start, look, this is going jungle, or if they were communicating along the lines and discussing where it was going. But if that's a first pick Trundle jungle and they were never planning flexing it, I think that's quite interesting. But not totally against it. There isn't really too many counter picks to the Trundle really. It isn't like you can pick a champion and bully him. Trundle is a good bully. He just has to be very proactive and efficient in his early game. Of course, with the way he can farm, it's like single target attacking, so he's got to maybe pick the red up, do the free camps on blue side, and look to take some flashes away.
Yeah, the Trundle quite typically is taken as a counter to the likes of Viego and Diana. He has a much better early game than those champions, and can kind of make a lot more impact in this pre-6 stage, and then still be useful in these team fights to melt away a tank. Which the only person you can really use the subjugate on this game is the Jarvan. However, if Built by Us Academy had gone for that Xin Zhao, it would have been a bit of a different story, and I think that is where it would have seen the flex come out for the side of Absolve Chaos, because Xin Zhao does have quite a nice time into the Trundle.
Yeah, it's a good. And saying that though, I can remember not too long ago I googled, counter picks to Zinzao just to see maybe what other options I wasn't thinking of. Um, and I believe it was like U.GG, just one of the standard websites actually picked Trundle up as in the top two counters against the Zinzao, but I can definitely see why Zinzao would be a good pick. But I think Trundle just has good like trading abilities in late game. He's got that ultimate to like shred frontliner of his abilities, or not abilities of the stats, takes a percentage of the armor and magic resist away. So he's going to probably be looking to ultimate the Jarvan here with that being the main frontliner.
Absolutely. However, this is looking to be a much more poke-heavy comp coming out from the side of Built by Us Academy. A quick swing from how things were in Game 1, where they just wanted to death ball and try to use their ultimates as a way to melt through these carries. Frontline still very strong coming out from Chaos. It'll be interesting to see just how different Built by Us play, considering how different they have drafted on this bot side of the map.
Yeah, they're going to have to play really smart on the side of Built by Us Academy because like Abstract Chaos's draft is easier to pull off They've got the Nautilus on the front line. Trundle's got his pillars. They've got the Ornalt. Ari can follow up, and then Severe can use the ultimate to get that movement speed. So they've got like a very easy way to start fights, whereas Built Bio's Academy has more of a peeling back way, kiting back with the Karma, with the Ziggs throwing the bombs and KO. Like they want to move back the way as they're fighting, but then Jarvan wants to go in. So it's going to be interesting to see how they pull off their comp.
Absolutely.
I mean, if Jarvan does go in and he dies, like, and like let's say it's a fight where they're looking to contest the Dragon Jarvan because then dies, like at that point it's going to be hard for Built Bio's Academy with the comp they've got. They've got one frontliner.
That it will.
Just waiting on the game kind of loading itself up, and then we will get the sync going.
So it will be interesting to see how they decide to play with Jarvan possibly fallen. I think something we are in need we do need to consider is the Divine Judgment.
Are you ready, Travesty? Okay, 3, 2, 1, play.
As evil grows,
And
so
we are
shall
in. So, as I was saying, the Divine Judgment is going to be a big, big thing for the side of the West Academy. It's going to definitely decide a lot of these fights, I feel.
We've got the champion names above the champions instead. I have to say, I much prefer when playing solo queue just to have either nothing or the champion name. I've recently changed it to champion name rather than nothing because there's so many skins in the game. Sometimes at a messy
Yeah.
team fight, you're like, who's the carry?
Who am I trying to kill?
Yeah. But, you know, I like having the nameplates off when I'm playing solo queue so I don't
Oh,
see
I do as
things
well.
like Flesh Princess perhaps above a champ. You know, so many random usernames.
Minions have spawned.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I play with them turned off. It definitely stops me tilting like out off the face of the earth. But alas for casting, having names on is definitely useful. There's a bit of vision being dropped by Abstract Chaos in this topside jungle. Will spot out Stingy alone. So I think it's safe to say they will assume Emote is starting on this bot side. We may yet again see a skirmish for this crab unless Emote can read where his counterpart is at.
As I touched on in the Champions Select, I'm interested to see what Trundle does in terms of what's his decision making early. He's doing what I would want him to do. He's done his red, now he's going up to the blue side camps. He kind of does the blue side camps easily, but if he went to the Krugs there, that was going to take a lot of time up. Not only walking down and walking up, but actually taking out all of the Krugs. So he's opted not to do that. That is the right thing in my opinion anyway. If he goes for the Krugs, it's going to take a lot of time, and if he goes for a full clear Krugs into Raptors, that's not very efficient in Trundle, so he's doing the right thing so far.
Absolutely. Saw a brief trade happening in the mid lane, seeing just how these mages like to play this early game. And I think as you see level 2 and 3 come through for this bot lane, you will see just how lethal poke can be from Varus Karma.
Getting a little free auto attack off on the Horn whilst he builds his early Bramble Vest.
Definitely not a bad call into a Kale, honestly. A very heavy auto attack based champion. So again, I think we're looking to see a very slow early game. Emote maybe coming face to face with Chicken here for this early game. The charm miss in that mid lane as both of these mid laners are going relatively low, but I think all of the damage was indeed used. We are seeing a gank on the top side from Chicken. This is what we talked about in the loading times. BR God going very low. The pillar will keep him locked against the wall. Slow down as Chicken will chase and take first blood for himself considerably earlier than what we saw in last game.
Yeah, you've got to consider that Trundle is most likely going to be top side. You've just got to be really safe. It's like your classic solo queue. You're probably going to get ganked top lane at level 3 off a jungler. Most junglers go with the, you know, give me that double leash bot lane, regardless of where I want to go. Like, that's most solo queue people don't think about which lane they want to play around. It's just, I'm taking the leash off of 2 people rather than 1, and I'm heading for top lane. It's Trundle in this case does want to go for top side, so should have maybe, you know, hung back and expected the Trundle to be around there.
Absolutely, especially considering they saw Ornn in lane. There was no fake leash attempted.
Yeah.
And of course,
True.
the Trundle Ornn being a very potent combo because of the pillar. Ornn can use Trundle pillar as a means of knockup if he does miss the little needle popping out of the ground.
Jarvan done a good job there. He knew that Trundle was topside back. He went and got the Raptors. He then put a ward on the Krugs because he knows Trundle was topside. Trundle's bad. He's going to be bot side somewhere. Not only is he taking the Raptors, but he warded the Krugs. And he's warded the bush beside the Raptors. So good job in getting some clear vision down when he knows it's a safe opportunity.
Yep. Oh, the Searing Charge misses the pillar, but it's a big trade onto BR God. And I'm not going to touch on what I saw in the bot lane. I saw a Notlatoka cannon and miss it. I then saw a Karma force severe shield while missing. We do see a slight exchange. Nothing too major. Yeah, this bot lane is just a fiasco of epic proportions.
Yeah, some Nautilus plays.
Oh dear. I wish not to think about that. As we look, the dragon is we do have an Infernal Dragon on the map. Herald will be coming up very soon. Scuttle is on this top side of the map. Vision will spot Chicken looking to pass towards this top side. So with the pressure that they could very easily get with this combo in bot lane, we may see Emote start the dragon. As I say that, I think it's just upside. But there is a trade in the mid lane. Don't think it'll come to anything. I say charm that. Yeah, it won't come to anything. We are seeing him doing the dragon. Forge God does come out into BR God, who is level 4. The pillar comes through. Knockup will miss. Flash has been used by both Chicken and BR God. The heal may just keep him alive a little bit longer. The flash comes through from the Ornn. The Bellow's Breath does not quite kill. BR God running for his life is tagged up by the pillar and will lose his life yet again. Karma going very low in the process, but alas, it's another quick kill for the top lane. Never mind, we're seeing a fight in the mid lane. Sinji going very low. The EQ will miss from Emote. JPF should just be able to walk this out. Jan is there. So a little bit of damage may spell death. Looks like Emote will just go for this.
Here.
Oh, Trundle has walked in. Chicken is looking. There is also a TP. BR God is not looking to fight. Emote will just use the flash to escape, giving the Scuttle not the position you want to be in. As built by us Academy, you're losing a lot on the map and gaining very little in return.
Yeah. And it looks as though Kao's in a tough spot here with the way the wave is sitting. He's already really far behind in XP and gold, the way the game is played out.
Absolutely. BR God not having a fun time on this Kayle. We said it before. If this Trundle just kind of sets up a 10, Kayle will not get to play the game, and I think that is what they're looking to do this game.
Yeah, Kayle needs help with this wave. She needs this wave broken, but the way the game is played out right now, Himoka's on the other side picking up his camps, rightfully so, but Kayle needs the help with this wave. She's not getting any gold. She can come close enough to get the XP, get closer up to her next level, but at the moment she's level 5 or level 7. Of course it would be like a level and a half ahead, not 2 full levels, but she needs help breaking the wave. Jarvan's opted to go to Wolves at the moment. As I touched on in Champions League, Trundle needs to be efficient with his early game. He went for the classic top wave gank and it worked because the Kayle was being quite aggressive with how much she was wanting to poke down the Ornn. Got herself in a tricky spot and now it's affecting the whole game.
Absolutely. I'm not sure what dragon we are looking at for this portion of the game, but it will tell us a little bit about what soul we will be seeing. Just big wave as Emote has come into the top side here. Karma is being chased down for the Forge God. Will come out, the Charm will go out. The Cataclysm has been used. The Divine Judgment will secure BR God a constellation kill onto Karma. As BR God does fall to JPF, as does Emote. That's a double kill for the Chaos mid laner. Chaos is being wreaked indeed in the top side of this map today.
I actually thought Trundle picked up that kill on the Jarvan through landing the ultimate, just simply click the R as Rob's some HP and he's dead, but Ari got the kill actually, so I'm not quite sure what spell landed into the W.
The W, I can't remember the name.
Yeah, the
The little
little,
spinny fire thing.
yeah, wee fox feathers.
Something like that. As we see, the charm does land in onto Stingy. The knockup does connect. The Bellows Breath connects. And JPF will pick up a third kill for himself. He is on a killing spree as a hook then lands onto Jan. As the depth charge comes through, Jan will flash, but it's not enough. Benny will take one. The root does come down onto Fresh Princess. I don't think they can continue to chase it. That is 2 very swift kills. Again, Built by Us Academy looking on the back foot here. This time they are behind in gold, even though they have this dragon as a consolation prize. And this is not the position you want to be in when you are against a match point Abstract Chaos. I don't think anything comes of this. I think with the Searing Charge being on cooldown, BR God can just kind of walk it out. Just try to get a bit more poke down.
Might see a dive in the top lane here. Trundle is again top side, maybe even just try to zone the Kayle off of the wave. Doing a good job at really focusing that Kayle. Usually top lane is the island, but with it being a Kayle, it's a total different ball game. You don't want her having a nice smooth, as we say in draft, you don't really want it to be a farming lane. From Abstract Chaos's point of view, you don't want to be a farming lane and let the Kayle kind of free scale.
Absolutely, but as Abstract Chaos, you are definitely on a timer against Ziggs, Varus, and Kayle. You cannot let this game go too late, otherwise it will come back to bite you. As they say, karma can be a pain, and karma is going to be the least of your worries if this game goes past the 30-minute mark. But for now, BR God is just being forced off his wave pretty consistently. This second Drake is spawning here in a second. It is a mountain, so we will be seeing an Ocean or a Cloud Soul, both of which are not terrible for the side of well, either side, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think Ocean Soul would be scarier than Cloud for both teams, but alas, West Princess just trying to get a bit of damage down as Benny is on the hunt. Killer does come through, the boomerang does land. That's 2 very swift kills in the bot side. Meanwhile, on the top side, BR God is being fought by Karma. Divine Judgment does come down, Call of the Forge God blocked, but it does not matter. That's a 3rd kill going over to the side of Abstract Chaos. The Dragon will go over to the side of Abstract Chaos. The Herald has been dropped and will take a tower. Abstract Chaos in a very commanding position this game.
Indeed they are. Yeah. Yeah. Using the Herald, getting the Dragon, they're doing well to exhale the game, you know, in their favour after getting early game advantages. They're not sitting back and relaxing, they're doing what they should and continuing to be aggressive. BR God done a good job in holding his ult off until Ornn was going to, you know, hit back with his own ultimate. He timed it nicely, but he's just too far behind to actually win off the trade. Currently sitting on level 7, Ornn level 10. So top lane Kayle on the same level as the supports.
Yikes. That's a yikes indeed. I don't know what to say. The Kayle is not having a good time this game. She may have Divine Judgment, but she certainly doesn't have Divine Treatment this game.
Yeah. I mean, it just comes down to the early gank. As you said, Ornn was in top wave. And bot lane obviously at least. So it's from the Built by Us Academy point of view, Trundle had started red buff, as we all know and I spoke about at the time. He's not really going to do his Krugs, he's not going to do the Raptors at all. He would never go red Raptors. So we kind of know he's on his blue side area. Maybe people didn't think he's going to be quite in river just yet, but if that gank didn't happen, I think this would be a totally different game right now. Not saying Abstract Chaos wouldn't be winning or ahead, but it wouldn't be this far, you know, to this point, to this degree.
Absolutely. The biggest thing you are looking at if you are Built by Us Academy is the fact that BR God is, I believe, at this point. He has not been having a good game at all. The hook does land onto the support. Depth charge comes through onto Jan. Rush Princess going very low. The Mantra W will save. However, the Call of Fortune does come in the top side, and that is one falling. As Stingy will take another in the mid lane. Rush Princess does get out. Emote will take Benny for himself. Bullet running for his life as 3 members of Built Lies Academy are chasing him towards his base. Built Lies Academy managing to take something back in a dire situation. They may be losing stuff on the top side, but they are taking kills towards this bottom lane. Bullet will escape with his life for now. However, that was a 2-4-1 trade in favor of Built Lies Academy, as you start to see how some of these picks become extremely strong towards this point of the game.
Yeah, and the Ziggs killing the Ahri was quite a big shutdown. Shutdown of 400 gold, checking the chat, but when the gold popped up it was 700. I'm not sure if that's like the total gold.
Yes, that would include, that's kill gold plus bounty, so it's 100.
So that's a nice pickup for the Ziggs, and when he got back to base he did indeed buy the Dark Seal. So he's looking to, he's got his Leandra's Anguish, he's got the Dark Seal, so he's looking to maybe get some more kills and assists and stack that up. Bit of a gamble going for the Dark Seal at this stage of the game.
Absolutely, but I think this Ziggs is starting to get to a very strong position. If he is allowed to just free hit, it could be very scary. And Jan, and we can't ignore Jan and Thresh Princess on this bot side of the map, actually managing to turn that fight around and go 1 for nothing. Of course, with the help of their jungler, but to be able to survive that period when you have a Nautilus dropping everything on you is extremely impressive.
Yeah. KO is really behind in farm. I've just had to check the individual farms. She's having a struggle city right now. She's just, you know, having a real tough game.
Painful.
It's very, yeah.
Her Q may shred resistances, but I don't think it's going to do anything for her when she's that far behind.
Yeah.
So, Abstract Chaos just looking to take this 3rd outer tower down in the mid lane. I'm going to take a little while to chip away at it. The Drake is spawning in about just under a minute now, about 45 seconds or so. And it is 1 Drake apiece with an Ocean Soul, so I think both teams are going to want this. As the poke comp coming out from Nevermind as a fight starts. The Call of the Forge God will get stopped by the Satchel Charge. The Herald does go down, and he may lose this tower. As I was saying, the Ocean Soul and a poke comp could be very, very good. However, the Ocean Soul against a poke comp is also very good. You can get hit and then just regen pretty much everything by hitting a minion. It's insane, quite frankly, how this Ocean Soul could swing the tides of the game.
Yeah, the Ocean Soul is of course good and all, you know, comps and champions, but specifically I think it's really going to help Abstract Chaos with them having such a tanky front line that against a poke comp, the regeneration would really be nice on those health bars.
Speaking of, Abstract Chaos will take this 2nd Drake or the 3rd Drake for themselves, 2nd for them, for pretty much free, as Built by Us Academy are just forced into this top side of the map. Baron will be up in 2.5 minutes. The next Drake in 5. I think we're going to go into a bit of a low slate. Never mind, Benny is once again on the hunt. Chain of Corruption has come out. Cataclysm also comes up. Then you're not trapped in here with me, I'm trapped in here with you, says Karma, managing to do a lot of damage to Jan. Meanwhile, Benny will pick up 2 and the tower. That Cataclysm was a bit... It kind of screwed his own AD carryover.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the Jarvan. It's got to use the ultimates quite wisely, eh?
Absolutely. Jan being just a step too far forward thanks to that depth charge, gets trapped inside the stone walls with Karma and Emoke, and takes a lot of damage to the Bellows Breath. Karma looking them dead in the eye and saying, "That was a bad decision, my friend."
Yeah. Oh,
Ahri damage. This, as a Built by Us Academy fan, you have to be quaking in your boots at the sight of Abstract Chaos being this far ahead at this point. However, it is not over. As I have mentioned multiple times, this game the scaling on the side of Built by Us Academy is insane. VR God coming close to that level 11 point when he really starts to get some of his damage from his levels, and I believe he may be on the Nash's Tooth very soon, or the Riftmaker very soon. I'm not sure which one he's going for first. When he gets that, it could be a big plus. So Chin of Corruption will land onto both members of Abstract Chaos, keeping Jan alive for now. Fresh Princess has been caught out by JPF. Doesn't matter, the charm goes wide, but alas, Benny is there. Benny says, nope, you're mine, and lodges a crossblade in Thrash's head.
Yeah, they're getting caught out where they shouldn't be, but I think Karma was mainly in that spot to initially save Varus. Varus was picking up the Krugs, trying to get what gold they can before Abstract Chaos come and get it. There was a ward in the bush beside the red buff, so I believe Varus thought he was safe as he would see anyone coming from that direction, but Abstract Chaos have actually walked through the jungle past the Raptors up by the red onto the Varus, so he probably just didn't expect that. He flashes to get away, uses his ultimate, Karma tries safe, and then Karma gets caught out, so just you know, thinking they're safe when they're not in their own jungle, getting picked off. As that's happening, Kale was bot lane, gets the tower, catches up some CS. Kale's wanting his team just to kind of survive, you know, catch up, try and get to level 16 scale. But Built by Us Academy, what they need is they need that mentality of that one person in solo queue. You know,
Let them win this, guys.
4 people have voted to surrender, 1 person's voting no constantly, like we scale, you check PGG and that guy's in his promo game, like of course he's voting no. They all need to have that mentality of like, we've got this, we scale, they'll make a mistake, we can catch them off, there's shutdowns, we can get them. So, you know, jokes aside, they do need that mentality of, it's a custom game, I know, whatever happens. Let's just try and scale and hope that they make a mistake. But it's going to get dangerous when, you know, Abstract Chaos have nearly got the Ocean Soul. They've got a very tanky team. Ocean Soul will do wonders. And if they threaten the barn, it's going to be hard for Built by Us to just sit back and scale. Easier said than done when there's objectives on the board.
Absolutely, because Kale has now taken level 11, but is being engaged on Cool. The Forge Rod comes out as the depth charge. The flash is not going to save you. Benny says, I'm on a rampage. As he is on the hunt for BR gods.
Yeah, just too far forward, really. I was watching Rogue and Misfits, it was Midline G2, Rogue and Misfits, and the caster kept saying the word restraint. And she said it so much to the point it was nearly tilting me, but maybe that's what Built by Us Academy need in this instance. They need some restraint to not step so far forward when trying to get those CS, because it's just no man's land walking into their own jungle, as we see.
Absolutely, as a Moke walks straight into Karma's face. This is half of his health. The Stingy is trying to heal him off. Moke knows they're on the Baron. There is a TP coming in. Bullet goes over the wall, manages to catch Moke. He goes in, but the Baron is nowhere near low enough. Chicken will pick up that kill for himself. BR Mega Inferno Bomb is not quite enough as Benny secures Baron Nashor for himself. Jan caught by the charm. Heal is used, but it's not enough. The Spirit Rush will take another. That's 2 down for the side of Built by Us Academy. And Benny still looking for more. JPF still looking for more. The rest of the team says no, we go for the Dragon, but they have a Bloodlust.
And you know, there was I actually thought Ziggs might have got that barn because Trundle smited Jarvan. I seen a smite go on Jarvan and I thought that can only be from one person, and I looked up and Trundle's smite was on cooldown. So there was that chance that, you know, Ziggs could have stole that barn. But of course he hasn't. Abstract Chaos are now on Soul Point, 9k gold ahead. He's on level 11. Not far off from 16. There's quite a while to go really. I mean, this is pretty doomed. If you're looking at the solo queue point of view, like, this is, you know, Built by Us Academy have only got 2 towers, so it's unfortunate that it's the second game that's maybe more one-sided. If the first game was more one-sided, then the second game is close, you know, but the first game is really close up to that barn call, but this second game has been, you know, a Trundle's dream, where he does, you know, half a clear, he gets the camps he wants, and then he goes on a rampage. Just goes further and further ahead. He's a big bully, that Trundle in the jungle. If he doesn't get his way, and it's a bit of a even Stevens matchup where nothing's really happening, it'd maybe be in favour of the other team. But Trundle's had his way. Gets to play with the enemy champions.
Absolutely. That timer has been extended by 5 minutes for every time BBUA gets caught out. So they have to be worried at this point. I mean, the Ziggs not quite at 2 items, I don't think. The Varus not even level 11 yet, doesn't have that chain of corruption at level 2. The Argod only level 12, I don't even think sitting on 2 items, which is the Kale's comfort point. Yet 1.5 coming through for the Kale. It's starting to get worrisome as JPF picks up a red turret on the bottom side. They are pushing for this inhibitor. Stingy is trying to do what he can, but it's not much. There isn't a lot to be done here. The poke isn't great because they've fallen so far behind, and I think, quite frankly, right now, this is Abstract Chaos's game to lose.
Yeah, exactly. It's Spellbire's Academy taking a bit counter and play off of any mistakes made, any overextensions, which might happen if they overly try and get this middle tower or the bot inhib. Trundle really cheekily want to get that inhib. I mean, Trundle's a champion that can really shred towers and inhibs. He's got his W for movement speed, he can use his big Q to chomp, take a bite out of him. But they're not actually able to get the final inhib or that tower before the inhib.
Which is a small grace for Built by Us Academy. I did see Sivert pop the on the hunt to escape there. It looks like you are off of the hunt, my friend, as you run away from the enemy base. However, with Baron coming up in 2 minutes 40 and Soul coming up in 2 minutes 10, you force BBUA into a position where if they don't fight, they will just bleed and lose the game there.
Yeah. If they did manage to get an inhib, that would have been really good for Abstract Chaos just before the Soul. They'd have, BBU would have had to put some attention on the big minions coming in, so it's good from BBU's point of view the inhib didn't fall, but if the Ocean Soul coming up in 1 minute 40, something needs to happen on the side of BBU. There's always that, I mean, do you know what, maybe they'd have a better chance at winning if they gave it, didn't fall more behind, and then maybe, somehow pick someone off before Elder Dragon got the Elder Dragon.
As we say that, John gets popped by JPF coming over the wall with the Spirit Rush. Charm does land. The Orb of Destruction decimating the health bar.
Yeah.
Very, very well played. That is the pick you wanted for these objectives. Spawn, granted the death timer isn't huge, but it's definitely something for you to try and push for some of these inhibitor towers.
Yeah, in this type of long game, I think it's easy to maybe switch off or not respect the enemy and just kind of maybe go on autopilot a little bit, like an ADC shouldn't really get caught. I guess there, maybe, like Ari's pretty strong at this point, can one-shot. Again, I probably just didn't expect that to go from 0 to 100.
As the flash charm comes in onto VR, God, he goes very low. This out-charge into Divine Judgment will save him for now. It is not enough. Bullet will secure that himself. Never in front of him was used. Meanwhile, Ornn is tanking up the tower. Fresh Prince will fall as well. It's another 2 very quick kills as 2 inhibitors do fall for the side of BBUA. And Abstract Chaos just looking for the Soul in a very commanding position. It is their game to lose, and it looks like they are saying, no, we are not losing. We are taking first place for ourselves.
Yep, looks like the playoffs /1 spot will soon be confirmed, but at the end of the day, if anything, it does mean that if/when these 2 teams meet up again in the playoffs, that'll be a very exciting matchup with this, with the way this game's going today.
Well, more so the first one.
Yeah. The way the series has gone as a whole, like if they play again, some scores have got to be settled, I guess. But Abstract Chaos, they were very proactive in the first game, making tower dives as 4 and 5, getting the objectives as 5. They really did play as a unit. And this game, they've just really done this that we're seeing right now. Bullied the Kale, early game, ganking her. We see this happen, so it's a tough game, bit of a tilter. for maybe the keeper's point of view. But again, as I touched on before, this would be playing out differently. Not to say that the result would be different, but it would be a closer game if KO did get caught out as close to the ocean, as close to the river in the top lane when Trundle was topside-ish. She might have not knew that he was in river, but she's just too close to the river, get caught out. If she didn't get caught out, this would be a lot different type of game, I believe.
Yeah, if she has just kind of held her deaths a little bit in that early portion of the game, she would have scaled relatively for free, wouldn't have had too much trouble farming. Alas, that is not the case. She does die yet again, I believe, making that 9 deaths? 8 deaths. But that's still a massive chunk of gold given over. She has hit 2 items now. She is nowhere near level 16, so one of the 2 pieces of criteria have been met. As Abstract Chaos look to go for the base, just the Pokemon Mega Chrono Bomb into the Cataclysm. Shut down goes over to Jan. Benny is out of the fight already. Divine Judgment has come down. The Argon also picks up a shut down onto Bullet Chicken. Will take out the Argon. But BBUA have just managed to secure their base for a little bit longer.
Yeah, Kale got a shutdown, died right after, but she did get a shutdown onto the Nautilus. That says a lot how hard the game is going if Nautilus has a shutdown on him. The support. But yeah.
Jan also picking up a shutdown onto Benny, which could be huge for this Varus. As soon as Varus hits 2 or 3 items, you need to respect his damage. Quite frankly, he could start to look very, very scary. Have to give props to Stingy and Emoke in that fight, though. They did a lot of work with the Mega Inferno Bomb Cataclysm combo.
Yeah. I mean, the Elder's up in 3 minutes 15, Barnes in 4 minutes 20. There's no objectives to be taken, so BBU can sit back. That being said, they can't even go into their own jungle, so there's only the gold from the waves that they can pick up. Abstract Chaos are quite happy to just take the camps on BBU's side of the map. They're going to look to get this top tower, of course. They've already taken the inhib in mid and bot. Pretty standard that they're going to look to stack the top lane.
Absolutely. Try and take out yet another tower, but that timer has just been accelerated by a considerable amount. One more fight like that and you may just lose yourselves the Elder, which could be very, very damning to take us to a 3rd game. But we will not get too far ahead of ourselves. For right now, BBUA is just trying to clear waves, make sure the Divine Judgment has already been used. The Argon is already dead. What did we miss? The Cataclysm does come down, but it's not quite enough. Stingy does die. Benny will take that for himself. Meanwhile, the Chain of Corruption has kept people down. John falls. Emote falls. Thresh Princess will a triple kill for JPM. And it looks to me pretty decisively that Abstract Chaos will take Game 2. They will take the series and secure 1st seed for themselves.
Yeah, nice to see that all of BBU wrote GG in the all chat, taking the loss on the chins. They've been undefeated this whole group. That's their first loss in this split. Is the last game for them before playoffs. Maybe it's a positive that they drop a game before playoffs. Maybe it's some lessons to be learned right before playoffs could do them a world of good. But credit to Abstract Chaos, they were very proactive in the first game. Tower dives is 5. Sometimes it backfired on them, but they're communicating and working as a unit, taking objectives as 5, and then this second game, spoke about it in Champ Select, spoke about it as he was taking his red buff. The decision making of Trundle in an early game is very important. Took his red buff, done the right thing, and ignored the Krugs and Raptors, took the top buffs, top camps, and then Kale was right there for the gang, which is what he wants going to that side of the map. Not only for the early snowball on the Trundle, but to put the Kale behind. So that was massive. Not so much of a close game in the second. Good series overall.
Absolutely. Big congratulations to Abstract Chaos taking the series 2-0 and securing themselves 1st in the standings for the group. Now, we will be getting an interview shortly with Abstract Chaos top laner Kama as soon as they are ready. We will hear from them on their 2-0 victory over Built by Us Academy.
Kamakawi Wooly. I wonder where he's from.
Sure, there is an accent on the I as well.
Hmm.
Good evening, Kama. Very big congratulations on the 2-0 win tonight.
Thank you. I can quickly as answer. I'm from Sweden.
Nice one. Nice
that
to
question.
hear.
So, how are you feeling after the series tonight?
I'm feeling pretty satisfied actually. Ever since I think it was the second week where BR God said I'm built different, I always wanted to just stomp him. So,
Oh,
because I just feel like you don't disrespect in top lane.
yeah.
Understandably so.
Top lane is that lane where you bump chests, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's against
Often.
Center Haven.
Yeah. And I've seen some memes quite a lot on the Division 3 where they've been posting some memes relating to Mundo and things like that. Apparently, BR God has been kind of a stomp in his games and there has been top diffs. So, from your point of view, it is quite nice that you guys kind of won the second game a lot of through the top lane in regards to putting that kill behind.
Yeah, I mean, the moment he picked Kale, it was literally like, if we leave the Kale alone, she's just gonna win the game automatically. She don't even need any like kills or attention. So
Exactly, that's what we were saying. The fact it's Ornn and Kale from the side of BBU, you would want that to be a farming lane with Kale
yeah,
maybe slightly winning the very small trades happening here and there. So the fact that that lane was so heavily influenced, and not only did Trundle gank early, but Trundle actually helped you push her off of the waves, and then you tower dived her,
yeah.
chasing her all the way back to the tier 2, almost into the tier 3. Yeah, so a lot of attention going on that top side.
I mean, it was a must, to be honest. Because even if he may disrespect other top laners, like, he has had a good split. So you have to respect him actually being a good player.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like if we would have literally left him just against Mina 1v1. I'm playing weak side, so it's gonna be way harder to get going with Kale that actually has equal farm.
Yeah, so you say you were playing weak side. You played the Ornn both games. Of course, a
Yeah.
very stereotypically great champion to have on your side in team matches. Is that a pick that you guys were planning on picking? Is that a pick that you've been practicing?
I mean, I practice a lot of picks. Like, I can probably confidently say I can play almost every champion up to my own level. But when we had Trundle on our side and because I'm not too sure since they banned my Jax out on other fighters, so we just went for the safe pick.
Yeah. Trundle and
And
Ornn actually work well together.
yeah,
If Trundle uses his pillar, Ornn can actually use his E against that pillar to get a knock up.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
they can actually work quite well as like a 2v2 early ganking game.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's actually a very easy gank setup because I can just hit my Q to slow the kill down, and then she uses her heal or movement buff, and then on top of that, Trundle pillar comes down afterwards, and it's just game over.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well, the main question that I've got before I'm kind of wrapped up in terms of questions is going back to the first game.
mhm.
What was like maybe the communication like when the Barn was happening? Like, because it was quite maybe I think Barn was roughly halfway taken, but again it was quite early in the game, so the DPS wasn't so high. Did you guys just think that they've been missing for quite a while? Do you guys think they're on Barn? Like, what was the?
No, so to be honest, we were going for Baron.
Mm,
So we were pushing midwave and top lane, right? We were setting up for Baron. So we were thinking maybe we should take Baron because we were ahead, and then we stumble on top of them. Everyone half HP. We also see the TP in on the map because you see the TP even in Fog of War.
mm, yeah. So
So
you guys didn't actually think they were on it. You wanted to go take it yourself.
yeah, because they don't really have a dragon Baron taking comp, to be honest.
Yeah, there's no ADC there.
Yeah, no. Because I think the only one who can take Baron pretty quickly there is Diana, but
Mm.
it's only Diana, so
Yeah, the
Maybe
DPS
they're
isn't very.
maybe they're thinking the Jarvan E, the flag, would give them all so much attack speed that it would be enough.
Yeah, maybe. Or they I think they might have thought they could sneak it because one of them were showing bot, right?
Mm.
So it's quite obvious, like it in yes, if we look regularly, like they shouldn't be on Baron if they have one bot. Like that's their general thought. But our thought was they have one bot, let's take Baron.
Fair enough. I can definitely see that. So just kind of going back to what you said about BR God being one of these top laners you have to show respect to. He did have a very good showing in the first game on the Gnar, did make a number of plays that definitely put BBUA in a position where they could succeed. And then of course not having the best game in the second game. What was the mentality you came into the lane against him with, other than yeah, let's slap this guy?
That's what it's literally it.
That was literally just it. Yeah, let's slap this guy.
Yeah.
I can respect that.
So to me, winning lane is not about kills. Like
Yeah.
if we say if you go melee into Gnar and you're not supposed to win the matchup, if you go even, that's a win.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, how does it feel to secure first for yourselves? I have to ask.
It feels pretty good, actually. I mean, it is an advantage now, because now we're gonna face what is it from 3B, the second team?
I'm not sure. I'll be honest with you.
Because I think that was the thing.
What did you ask?
If that we're gonna in the playoffs, we're gonna face the second place from the other division.
Not 100% sure how that would work. I believe it would be, yeah, 2 and 1, 1 and 2 from each group.
Yeah.
In that case, I know Rocket are currently first on the other group. I'm not too sure who's second. So by winning this game, you've kind of avoid playing Rocket first, if that is the way
Yeah.
it goes. I think it is. And
'Cause
Rocket are, an experienced team for Valence League. They're always there. Some of the members who are still playing in this split have played, a few splits and things. So perhaps it's good and very beneficial that you won this game and will look to face them in the eventual finals, perhaps.
yeah, it would actually be pretty fun to face either them or Bull Bias, either way, in finals.
Yeah.
I'm since I don't know who the second team is in that division, I cannot really speak much about them. I don't mean to put them under the radar, because
Yeah,
of
I
course,
guess you're just focused on your own group, really.
yeah.
Well,
Of
I
course.
have quickly checked. Right now, it's a blaze, given that, things stay as they are. The only game set to happen is Team Rocket and
Mm.
Bob Academy. So yeah, it looks as though a blaze is second, Team Rocket Academy is first. That's set in stone from the way I look at it. So a blaze would be your opponents, given we're correct on how that works.
I would. Would it be fun to face a Blaze as well?
Yeah.
Because we have watched a few of the games of both Rocket and Blaze whenever it was streamed after our games. And I think it was going to be fun to face either off, actually.
Have you any thoughts on a blaze if that is your next opponents? Any specific thoughts on the top lane or anything?
Not really. Mostly been focusing on the coming up games, trying to
Yeah,
get better every
that's it.
week.
Yeah. Well, I guess the only thing to ask is, do you have any shout outs, anything specific you want to say?
I mean, I want to shout out our coach that is never there for the games. Um, he and I want like the whole team as well as a few of my friends who keeps watching every game. So that
Mhm.
was streamed by us. So
So were you guys drafting on your own, or is your coach kind of drafting by message with you if he's not
no,
there?
no, no. So he basically went. I think it was last weekend where he discussed like draft, because otherwise it's just fundamentals up until now.
Yeah,
So last last weekend it was drafting lesson.
that's good.
So
Yeah.
yeah, we do the draft as a team. We discuss. We make sure nobody's on a pick they don't want to play.
Because obviously, I was thinking, like, if he's given you a draft idea as to what to go with, but he's not there, you can ask his opinion how to react to the enemy's picks. Because of course you can go in with an idea, look, we want this type of comp, but you can't really adjust your draft to their picks if he's not there. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I mean, he does make a quick analysis of the enemy team and see what the threat is. That's basically it. So
Yeah.
we get basically what we are supposed to ban, or similar what we're supposed to ban, to make the enemy team like play weaker or have weaker champions.
Yeah. I do actually have one more small question. This has been quite a long interview, actually, especially for Division 3. But what was the thoughts on Trundle first pick? Although, with this being said, maybe don't give too much away. Maybe don't confirm if it was a flex pick. But I was quite surprised that that was a Trundle first pick, unless maybe, you were planning on flexing it. Is it just because Trundle doesn't really have like too many counter matchups in the jungle, and you just really believe in him, or?
I mean, overall, Trundle is strong, no? At the
Yeah.
moment, if you go high ranked, he's played in 3 lanes, he's played top, he's played jungle, and he's played support.
Yeah.
So as a champion, he's just pretty strong.
Indeed, his win rate's been really high. At one point, he was first for jungle not so long ago.
Yeah, especially with the Divine Thunder buff, I think, for melee.
Mhm.
Like, it's just steamrolls if he gets ahead.
As I was saying in the cast, he's just a big bully, isn't really? He wants to get on top of them, get some damage off, and the early game went his favor where he got to snowball.
Yeah. Trundle is basically like, if you go top with him, I don't think there's anyone who can actually as bully Trundle out early game,
Yeah.
because he has do so much damage, and he has a super fast clear. So there's not a lot of junglers that can keep up with. That's just my own thought.
hmm He's got us fast clear in certain ways. The camps that he can do is fast, but he can't really maybe do Raptors and Krogs fast. So it's quite important that he does the camps that he can do fast and then is efficient on the map. But the fact he got that early gank off and stuff is pretty perfect for him.
Yeah, if like, I think his Raptor take is pretty fast as well compared to other junglers that are meta right now.
Mm.
Like, it's not like if we just look at
Diana
it,
fast.
yeah, Diana has way more AOE, but if you look at Jarvan, I don't think Jarvan takes Raptors way quicker than Trundle does. I think Trundle 2 hits the small Raptors with 1 auto and Q. So
Yeah, I think if I remember it, I think it'd be like auto Q auto for each one, unless you let the burn sort of tick off a bit on each.
yeah, because you have red buffs, you don't really need to finish off every single Raptor, no?
As
Yeah,
well as the
just the red buff.
smite item burn.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, well, I think that's all the questions covered so far. So once again, congratulations on the win tonight. Must be massive for you guys. Go and celebrate with your team, and thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Yeah, the
You
interview
too.
quickly turned into a podcast.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Ledros asking what can I answer what his question? I saw that on stream.
What was it?
What would you consider respectable picks for top?
Go on quickly.
Everything that's not Vayne illusion.
You know what? That's very respectable in and of itself. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Thank you once again, and
thank you.
congratulations.
Have a nice day.
You
Have a
too.
nice night.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
And with that, we have come to the end of today's game day. Congratulations once again to Abstract Chaos for taking the win and securing themselves first place in the group. Cub, thank you for joining me tonight. It was an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for being here. It was quite fun. Once again, this is my second cast ever. It was a nice and entertaining game to watch. Thanks for joining me and being such a pleasurable co-caster.
Absolute pleasure indeed. And to anybody who is watching, thank you all for tuning in for today's games. I believe we will next be back on Thursday with more League of Legends for you all. For now, thank you for watching and stay safe, everybody.